Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Ken with Little Church, Big Heart. Once again, I want to talk to you this week and encourage you as you get ready for the Lord's Day. I want to talk to you about something that's common for us in ministry. It's actually common for everybody, but it can be especially hard for us in ministry, and that is worry and anxiety. Jesus commanded us not to be anxious about anything, but often it is the demands of serving Him in the local church that can cause us the most anxiousness and cause us the most loss of sleep at night. Little Church Big Heart exists to encourage small church pastors wherever they may be. I've been through it for many years, and I know that sometimes it can feel like you're alone. So these videos are being posted to encourage you as you get ready for the Lord's Day. If you enjoy these, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and also the notification bell to be notified of new videos as they become available. I plan to post one every week to encourage you as you're going into your Lord's Day preparations. This idea about being anxious, Jesus commanded us to be anxious about nothing, but how can we do that? We should be modeling that, but we should be an example of not being anxious, of a life lived in full dependence on Christ. But how do we do that, especially when we're laying in bed at night and we suddenly snap awake and we cannot sleep, can't fall back asleep? I've had it happen sometimes at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever, and look at the clock and realize I've still got many hours of night left or a few hours of night left, and there's no way I seem to be able to get back to sleep. And that's because there are pressures in the ministry that come to us in the night. Maybe we suddenly think about a person who left in a huff. Maybe we start to wonder about if we're going to make the budget for the year or pay the bills for the month. Maybe we worry about an upcoming board meeting or a bad one that we had recently and something that had a negative in that meeting. Any of these things can come in. They can happen to us when we try to lay down to sleep, and most of us, I think, soon learn how to get around that, to turn our brain off by distracting ourselves with reading or whatever it may be. But what do you do in the middle of the night? I don't want to turn on the light and wake up my wife. And turning on the TV is just more of mind-numbing, emptiness. So what can I do? What I've found helps when I have those times when I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep is pray. Now, that may seem a bit like a cliche. I'm not talking about necessarily get up and spend a formal time in prayer. I'm talking about whatever is worrying you, whatever is anxiousness you're having. If you're worried about somebody who upset you or offended you or who got mad at you, pray for that person. If you're worried about your board meeting, pray for the meeting. If you're worried about the upcoming sermon and how you're going to get it to work together, pray for that. If you're praying about the budget, pray for that. Just talk to the Lord. I now, when this happens, I wake up and whatever it is, I start talking to Jesus about it. Lord, please help with this. Lord, this person, I lift them up before you, and I just pray that you will touch them and bless them. Lord, our finances, I pray for your presence in my finances and in our church's finances and whatever it may be. And it's interesting. Many times what happens, I wake up, I realize I can't sleep, I feel wide awake, and I'm thinking about something, anxious about something. I start praying about it. And it seems before long I wake up again and it's morning. Because at some time I fell asleep, gently, never even realizing I was falling asleep. My brain finally just turns off in the presence of the Lord after praying. Imagine that, praying and sleeping restfully in the presence of the Lord. So take this as an opportunity when these things happen to lift these things up before the Lord. When anxiousness comes to you, when anxious thoughts come to you in the middle of the night, take it as a chance to pray for those things. And it just gives you more opportunity to lift needs and lift problems up before the Lord and to model giving them to Jesus. I hope the Lord will be with you and I know He will, this Lord's Day. I hope you have a blessed Lord's Day with your people, preaching the Word, teaching, doing whatever your ministry is this week. God bless you, and goodbye.